We are gonna have some fun today. Hello, book lovers. I hope you all are doing well. Today, I have here with me these books of different genre, and we are gonna get into the opening lines of these books. Let's see how that goes. FYI, I have not read any of these books yet, so I'm going in blind. I'm as clueless as you guys. This is our first book. It's a classic, Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Let's see how this goes.
Mrs. Dalloway said she would buy the flowers herself, for Lucy had her work cut out for her. The doors would be taken off their hinges. Rumpelmayer's men were coming. And then, thought Clarissa Dalloway, what a morning, fresh as if issued to children on a beach. What a lark, what a plunge.
What? What was that? I understand nothing. Yeah. I expected somewhat more from Virginia Woolf. Maybe the story is great and the writing progresses as we read this book. But this was such a dull start to this video and the book as well. Let's move to the next one. The second book I have here with me is Night Shift by Annie Crown. This is a Wattpad book turned into an actual paperback. And with Wattpad, the thing is, the writing could be either great or it could be something like I can do a floss dance with the speed of lightning. I read that somewhere in a Wattpad book. I'm not even lying. Let's see which category does this one belongs to.
I have always loved libraries after dark. This one, the only 24-hour library at Clement University, may not have the marble floors and cathedral ceilings that adorn Pinterest boards and travel Instagrams, but it's still one of my favorite places on campus. And despite the outdated furniture, questionable carpet stains, fake ferns, and lingering stench of old coffee, there's something magical about the way moonlight floods the central atrium through the glass ceiling overhead, casting the mostly empty tables far below in a soft blue glow.
Okay, I gotta admit, this one was okay, this one was good. I've always loved libraries after dark. I'm a coward. I will not leave my room after 7 p.m. So I have not experienced this yet. But I think I can understand what the experience would be like. I mean, after dark, not many people there, the quiet of the library, the dim glows, the soft light, yellow lights, and books. Not a bad ambiance. This one was good. I'm gonna give it to Annie Crown. It certainly does not belong to the category of floss dancing with the speed of lightning. The third book I have here with me is Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus by John Gray. This is a non-fiction book, and I picked it up a lot of times but never finished it. And I'm as clueless as the next person who has not read this book yet. Let's begin.
Imagine that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. One day long ago, the Martian, looking through their telescopes, discovered the Venusians. Just glimpsing the Venusians awakened feelings they had never known. They fell in love and quickly invented a space travel and flew to Venus. The Venusians welcomed the Martians with open arms. They had intuitively known that this day would come, their hearts open wide to a love they had never felt before. The love between the Venusians and the Martians was magical. They delighted in being together, doing things together, and sharing together. Though from different worlds, they reveled in their differences. They spent months learning about each other, exploring and appreciating their different needs, preferences, and behavior patterns. For years, they lived together in love and harmony. Then they decided to fly to Earth. In the beginning, everything was wonderful and beautiful, but the effects of Earth's atmosphere took hold. And one morning, everyone woke up with a peculiar kind of amnesia, selective amnesia.
I think the first page itself is setting the premises for how men and women are so different to the point that they could actually belong to different planets. And I could not agree more with the given circumstances of today's world. I think everybody would agree that we are um, at odds with each other like we have never been before. The way this book has been introduced, I think it's going to be a fun read. That's what I can say for now. The next book I have here with me is Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche. And I think these are selective uh, prose and philosophical quotes and parts of the essays that Nietzsche wrote over time. And this is the collection of those. That's what I think about it. But let's get into it to know more.
Supposing that truth is a woman, what then? Is there not ground for suspecting that all philosophers, in so far as they have been dogmatists, have failed to understand women? That the terrible seriousness and clumsy importunity with which they have usually paid their address to truth have been unskilled and unseemly methods for winning a woman? Certainly, she has never allowed herself to be won, and at present, every kind of dogma stands with sad and discouraged mien, if indeed it stands at all. For there are scoffers who maintain that it has fallen, that all dogma lies on the ground, nay more, that it is at its last gasp.
Oh my god. What was that? Seriously, I thought it was supposed to be a fun video. But what? How profound was that? I understand the hype. I absolutely understand the hype about Nietzsche. As a philosopher, as a writer, yes, I do get it now. Because how impactful and heavy is this line, supposing that truth is a woman? Points for Nietzsche. I think I'm gonna read this book very soon because if this is how it's going to be, I will finish it in 2 days. I'm not lying about it. I will get into it. Wow. Oh my god, I think this quote is going to stay with me for very long time. Supposing that truth is a woman, what then? Oh my god. I this video was supposed to be, just chill vibes, cozy reading and all of that, reading vlog sort of. But I think I found a gem with this one. Jackpot. All of a sudden. Let's move on to next one. However, I really doubted that anything would top Nietzsche at this point. I'm just way too impressed. Is it just me? Please tell me. It has been chaos. I have shot this entire video before and it got deleted. Only few parts of it is now left, so I have to reshoot the entire video and I still have like 3 books to talk about. So I'm sitting here wearing the same sweater, and I'm so sad about it that my energy is so down, but we are gonna reshoot it. I actually tried reshooting it, and it turns out that something went wrong with the camera, and it was not actually shooting. So this is my third time shooting this video. So the next book I'm going to talk about is Lightlark by Alex Astor. This is a romancy book, and first one in the series. I actually saw in one of the Instagram reels that this book is about like five or seven heir to the throne who goes on an island to break some kind of curse. But that's as far as I know about this book. So let's read it to see where this goes.
Isla Crown often fell through puddles of a star and into faraway places, always without permission, and seemingly on the worst occasions. Even after 5 years, Portling still made her bones groan. She held her star stick tightly, her breath bottled in her chest like the rare perfume on her vanity, the glass room spinning and fractured colors bleeding together until gravity finally pinned her down like a loose thread in the universe.
Okay, honestly, as far as romancy writing goes, I think this one is not that bad. There are especially two lines that excites me. The first one is her breath bottled in her chest like the rare perfumes in her vanity. Um, and the second one comes close, fractured colors bleeding together until gravity finally pinned her down like a loose thread in the universe. I think that is some good writing, but as far as picking up the curiosity, it fails to do that because she's just portaling to a different realm. I think that she might go into an enemy realm accidentally, or a realm of some other king, and that's the beginning of the romance, because that's just how every other romancy starts these days. So not that interesting, I would say. Not something that would make me pick it up instantly. Oh, but I also remember that somebody said that the plot twist is something that you would not see coming. Huge plot twist. Um, so I think that might make you pick this book up, but definitely not the opening lines. The next book I have is the Mindfuck series. It's by St. Abbey. Unfortunately, I was browsing the internet and came across an article where it said that St. Abbey is no more. Um, I was just browsing the internet to, see more books from her, even though I have not read this one. But I have heard good things about this. This is from a dark romance genre, and yeah, it was kind of sad. I was gutted that um, even though I have not connected to the author, it's still sad. Let's just put it that way.
I love humanity, but I hate humans. Albert Einstein. Lana. You look like you have been stood up. A guy says as I peer up from my phone, discreetly clicking the lock screen into place so he can't see what I am watching. I arch an eyebrow as I study him. Good looking, mid 20s, arrogant smile, dominant posture. He's definitely barking up the wrong tree though.
Coming back to the opening lines of this book, I think even though it starts with an Albert Einstein quote, and I do believe this is something that Albert Einstein have actually said, unlike most of his quotes, which just people just, I don't know why they do this, but they would put any motivational quote and just put Albert Einstein's name next to it to make it seem impactful, maybe. But yeah, I think this one is actually said by Albert Einstein. Coming back to the actual opening line of this book, which is, "You look like you have been stood up," said by a guy, to which the inner monologue of this character Lana goes that He's definitely barking up the wrong tree, though. And when I first shot this video, I laughed like hell about this because I said that this line is actually something that I am going to most probably use in my everyday conversation. This is what I do. I memorize the lines that I feel are, sassy, and I would use it in everyday conversation. I still remember there was this line from Unravel Me by Aaron Warner. He said this to Kent, Adam Kent, um, where the scene goes something along the lines where Adam was actually cursing at him, and Aaron Warner, being so posh about it, he was like, the crude substitution in vocabulary is used by basically who do not have, who are dim-witted. I'm going to be crude about it. I'm going to say as it is. He was very posh about it, but I don't remember it now. But when I first read it, I used to paste it on every next person who was cursing very frequently around me, and that pisses them off. So I was kind of enjoying it.
Such unfortunate language. Only those who cannot express themselves intelligently would resort to such crude substitution in vocabulary. Is it because I intimidate you, Kent? Am I making you nervous? You seem to be struggling to hold yourself together.
Coming back to this book, see, that's the thing about opening lines. This is something that would make me want to pick it up instantly, and I think I'm going to like it. For I have read some dark romance books that are actually very cringe. The beginning of it's absolutely not for me. So with this one and how well this was opened, I think I would pick up this book. And by the way, this is not a short book, so the going by the volume of this, you have to be very much into it. So I think the author does this great job. She did a great job with the opening line, and I hope the writing is gets well as the series progresses. It's sad though that she's no more, but yeah, that's about it. I think after Nisha, I'm going to pick up this book. The last book we have here with us is If We Were Villains by Emil Rio. This is a dark academia book, and the thing about this particular genre that I like the most is not just the present story, but also the references from famous plays, especially Shakespeare's plays. Um, the references, and also sometimes they draw a particular character in the ongoing book from those plays of Shakespeare. So it's very interesting for me to see how that ends in the present day context, and that's why I pick up these genres or the similar genres.
For the many weird and wonderful thespians whom I have had the good fortune to call my friends, I promise this is not about you.
Coming back to the opening line, but before that, I think the dedication of this book is also something great.
I sit with my wrist cuffed to the table and I think, but that I am forbid. To tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul. The guard stands by the door, watching me like he's waiting for something to happen.
So the opening line tells us that this protagonist, I think, I hope he's the protagonist. Also, with uh, these sort of book, you cannot tell that if they are actually the protagonist or antagonist. Yeah. So that is also very interesting. But whoever he is, he's in jail. Those words written in Italian font, they are from Hamlet Shakespeare, if I'm not wrong. um so like I said, these when references from classical literature pops up, every now and then in these genres. It makes me want to read more of such books, and not just that, it makes me want to read those plays as well, on which um, through which those references were taken. I think doing this video, I found like 2 3 books that are going to be my next pick. The first one is obviously Nietzsche, the second one is the Mindfuck series, and the third one is going to be We Were Villains. Um, and also that book Night Shift, if I want to read some fluffy romance. But so far, I think these three are the ones. Do tell me if these opening lines piqued your curiosity and are making you want to pick up any of these books next. Also, tell me what you're reading or what you're going to read next. I think, yeah, that's it for the video. I'm still very sad. Something is pinching me here because I have to like shoot this video 3 times. But okay. I'll do better in the next videos. I'll learn better in the next videos. That's the goal. And I'll read more as I do that. So I hope you're reading too, and I hope you're reading well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye. It was all fun and games until Nietzsche walked in.